In the Acoustic CFD simulation training package, both broadband noise sources and Fox, William and Hawkins method are applied for the CFD simulations. By clicking on the subscribe button, you will be informed about the newest CFD training videos by MR-CFD. Or if you are watching the training video, click on the MR-CFD logo and subscribe. This CFD training package contains 3 different CFD products: plate silencer and sound absorption, acoustic simulation and analysis in a turbojet intake fan, and also sound generation on airfoil.
In this project, we will simulate a plate silencer and sound absorption mechanism. As you can see, after double-clicking on the energy button, in the appeared box, we have enabled the energy equation since we want to account for the temperature changes in our computational domain. Now if you click on the outlet boundary, the type of this boundary is defined to be pressure outlet. Just like the previous slide, if you click on edit button in the appeared window, you can change the settings for this boundary. For example, the most important thing you should pay attention to is the gauge pressure defined on this boundary, which is equal to 0, which means that the airflow will exit our computational domain to the atmosphere. We may also change the under relaxation factors. These factors may be between 0 and 1. Based on the simulation and the project we are doing, we may change these under relaxation factors. But remember that the values set in here are the recommended values for the project, and we highly recommend you to not change these values. Now in this contour, you can easily see the pressure changes along the axis of our geometry. Now in order to extract another contour, all you have to do is to change the variable. For example, you can see that in this slide we have changed our variable from pressure to velocity, and then after doing that, we click on Save or Display button, and the software will show us the 2D contour. Now in this contour, you can easily see the velocity distribution inside our computational domain. Now this recurring increase and decrease in velocity will have the result of energy depletion of the airflow. Now as was previously explained in previous slide about the recurrent increase and decrease in the velocity along the axis, you can easily see in this plot the changes of the velocity. Now as was previously mentioned again, you can see that this recurrent increase and decrease will have the effect of energy depletion of the airflow. As you can see in this diagram, the receiver at the outlet section has clearly received lower sound pressure levels comparing to the receiver at the inlet section, which shows that our muffler is effective and it has lowered the sound pressure levels. Now in order to extract the transmission loss diagram, we need to subtract the sound pressure level of these two receivers. To do that, we first have to export the data of sound pressure level for each receivers. After that, by using the Excel software, we can subtract these two data and extract the transmission loss diagram. As you can see in this window, we have enabled the Write FFT to File option, and after that, we have clicked on Write FFT so that we can export the data of the sound pressure level for these two receivers. Now in this diagram, you can see the difference of the sound pressure level of the two receivers for different frequencies. In this diagram, you can see that our muffler has worked and has caused a constant decrease in the sound pressure level received by the two receivers. Finally, a summary of different settings and setup that we have used in our project is presented to you in the slide.
The present problem simulates the airflow inside a turbojet and also examines the acoustic wave and the sound produced inside this turbojet. The K-omega standard turbulence model for modeling currents including velocity deceleration and separation due to reverse pressure gradient, mixing layer flows and plates and radial jets, high rotational flows, and issues related to aerodynamic forces and turbochargers are applicable. In the S-standard K-epsilon model and the S-stress omega RSM, you also have the option of including corrections to improve the accuracy in predicting free shear flows. The highlighted zone shows and displays the lateral sides of the computational domain that has a pressure far field boundary condition type. The gauge pressure has been identified in this section. Also, the Mach number is specified here, and the coordinate system that the flow is in the x-axis. And the fan boundary condition is just similar to the wall of the intake, is a stationary wall with no slip, and also the adiabatic wall. The standard initialization method has been activated for CFD simulation, and as we can see from the initial values section, all the values are obtained from the far field boundary condition, so we select the far field from the compute from section. The Mach number of the far field boundaries was equal to 0.5, and it's decreased after the airflow passed through the fan and reached more than 0.7. And also, finally, we can check the turbulent kinetic energy contour. A summary of the defining steps of the problem and its solution is given in the following tables as a review.
The present problem simulates sound pressure waves around an airfoil using ANSYS Fluent software. We use the broadband noise sources as the acoustic model in this project. Actually, in many practical applications involving turbulent flows, noise does not have any distinct tones, and the sound energy is continuously distributed over a broad range of frequencies. In those situations involving broadband noise, statistical turbulence quantities readily computable from Rand's equation can be utilized. In conjunction with semi-empirical correlation and Light-Hill's acoustic analogy to shed some light on the source of broadband noise. ANSYS Fluent offers several such source models that enable you to quantify the local contribution per unit surface area or volume to the total acoustic power generated by the flow. They include the following: 1. Prodman's formula, 2. Jet noise source model, 3. Boundary layer noise source model, 4. Source terms in the linearized Euler equations, and 5. Source terms in Lilly's equation. Considering that one would ultimately want to come up with some measure to mitigate the noise generated by the flow in question, the source models can be employed to extract useful diagnostic on the noise source to determine which portion of the flow is primarily responsible for the noise generation. Note, however, that these source models do not predict the sound at receivers. Here, under the model constraints in the acoustic model dialog box, you must specify the relevant acoustic parameters and constants used by the model. At first, far field density, as you know, is the density for the far field, and far field sound speed is the sound speed for the far field. Then, reference acoustic power is used to compute the acoustic power outputs in decibel, and number of realizations is the number of samples used in the SNGR to compute the average source terms of LE and Lilly's equations. The default value for the number of realizations is 200, and this is the default value for reference acoustic power in ANSYS Fluent. And the number of Fourier modes is the number of the Fourier modes used to compute the turbulent velocity field and its derivatives. And the turbulent velocity field is then used to compute the LE and Lilly's source terms. The default value in ANSYS Fluent for number of Fourier modes is 50. And set the velocity inlet for the inlet. Here velocity magnitude is equal to 68, and these are the components of flow direction. Actually, for the present simulation, it is the same that the airfoil is horizontal in all cases and changes only in the direction of the incoming airflow in terms of angle, so that the sinus and cosine of the desired angle are used to define the components for the direction of the input wind velocity from the input boundary of the surrounding environment. So this is the cosine of the angle of attack, and this is the sinus of the angle of attack. In this case, angle of attack is equal to 14, and turbulence intensity is equal to 5%, and turbulence viscosity ratio is equal to 10 minus sine of the angle of attack for x and cosine of the angle of attack for y. The last thing that I want to explain you in the Fluent section is that how you can write your case and data whenever you want. From file, write, case and data, you can do it. You can zoom in by this tool on your airfoil. Also, you can plot the velocity contour. The figures show the amount of change in acoustic power level or the amount of sound pressure in terms of location in the longitudinal direction. This location indicates a few meters before the location of the airfoil body, and then on the surface of the airfoil body, and finally a few meters after the airfoil body. As it turns out, the sound wave is generated after the airflow hits the airflow body. According to the figures, it can be said that when the angle of attack of the airfoil is 0, the sound is propagated at a greater distance after the airfoil, but the more the angle of attack, the amplitude indicates the sound is more limited.
Obtain the mesh file and also the full training movie by purchasing this product. To benefit from MR-CFD services including simulation, consultation, and training, contact our experts via info@mrcfd.com.